Thanks so much, everyone, joining in for our collaborative team meeting. Just a reminder, our focus is on well-being, and thank you so much. I see we have pre-meeting organizers ready. We had a chance to look through the data. You will note that we have our continuums around, so utilize it as a reference as we go. Just a quick overview in regards to our roles. I'll take on the role of facilitator, and it's my job to keep focused on determining action, to return attention to being data informed, to ensure that we're getting actions assigned, and to also then assign times to the timekeeper as well. Amber, you're going to play our timekeeper. Do you want to just share what you're going to do today? So with that in mind, could we please take a look at our norms that we've established and we utilize? Today, we're going to focus on being active listeners and ask questions to deepen our understanding. So to help us with the asking, everybody has our team meeting discussion cards. The goal is today that every person here asks at least 2 questions and we throw them into the middle of the table. So the goal is between us 7 that we have at least 14 cards in the middle of the table as we go through. Any questions with that? Amber, can you set a timer, please, for 10 minutes? And let's move into our celebrations. Lana, in 30 seconds or less, a student you want to celebrate, and what was that celebration? And then we're going to dig into what it is that we did.
Well, Marcella in my class, she used to really seek out attention all the time, but since February, she's been seeking out attention way less. She's been more independent and has just really been regulating very well in the classroom. So we're really happy with how she's moved from always looking for attention to now she's just works away and seeks out her friends at recess.
That's awesome. So Lana, what are some things that you think you've done within the classroom that have led to that success?
Well, we set up a system where we checked in and checked out with her. So first thing in the morning, I always made sure I checked in with Marcella, saw how her morning went, did she have breakfast and so on. And then just before lunch, I checked in with her again to see how her morning has gone, if she needed anything over lunch. And then before she left at the end of the day, I did a little checkout with her and just saw if she needed anything before leaving for home. And it always seemed like it met her needs. And since then, she's just really gained some independence.
Awesome. Well, Lana, when you talk about those check-ins that you do, is that more of just an informal conversation, or do you have any documentation or checklists that you, like, is it formalized or just informal?
Well, I took quite a formal structure that a check-in, check-out can be, and I created my own little checklist. I just, do you need anything? How are you feeling? And can I help you? Or what's the cue if something isn't going well for you at any point? What's your cue to get my attention? So hers is just a little thumbs up if she puts her hand on the desk. I know then that I can just zip over to her desk and see what she needs. And then Lorna, well, you've been helping me out with that too, so it's been really great.
Could I ask Lana and Jen, just down in the action place, can you share out a copy of that little checklist? And Colette, I see you're adding that to Continuum.
Yeah, I think that because it's specific to that visual checklist for the check-in, check-out, I think that's a great tier 2 strategy that we can.
Perfect. Let's add it. Nice. All right. Thanks so much. That's awesome for the number of celebrations that we had. Let's now shift gears. We're going to move into our first key issue. We have about 35 minutes for this, but we're going to take 8 minutes per key issue. So Amber, if you could set us at 8, and then I'm going to go right back to you, my friend. I would love for you to identify a student in the yellow that you've brought, and 20 seconds or less a key issue. And Jen, I'll ask for you not to record anything in the key issue area yet, just the student, and we'll try and drill into our key issue.
Okay, well, I've got Edna, who's kind of popped up. This is a little bit rare. She's usually pretty good, but finding that she's got some frequent interruptions in class. That would be our key issue right now. She just can't seem to find that place where she knows when it's appropriate to connect, or appropriate ways to express what she's trying to say when the right time is. So she just interrupts nonstop. Other people, teacher, kids.
Do you find that it's happening more during direct instruction, or when the students are engaged in some collaborative groups, or when they're working independently? Does it matter?
Doesn't seem to matter. It seems more, to be honest, it seems almost like she's bored.
So would it be fair to say that key issue is frequent interruptions once focus starts to wane?
I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Okay, let's go with that. Jen, if you can capture that, frequent interruptions when focus starts to wane. So I'm going to ask Cheryl and Lorna as well, you're in the classrooms. Just take a few seconds to think about your kiddos, and is there anyone else that we can put there? So take a moment to just reflect.
Actually, I have Felice.
Yeah.
She's really talkative in class as well.
So let's add Felice to that. Cheryl, do you have any students, and no story, just name, that you can see?
No,
What's
not
that?
right now
No?
for that.
Okay. Anyone else, Lorna, when you're working in the classes that you see?
Fonda sometimes is
Let's
really
add
fun
Fonda
for a
then.
time.
Okay. All right. So with this then, let's open it up. What are some ideas that we could put into place when we're seeing frequent interruptions? And Jen's going to just note this right in our Tier 2 supports and ideas.
I wonder if this strategy might work, being a little bit intentional with giving the students a turn to talk. So, you give so much of your direct instruction, but really intentionally building in an opportunity for them to either turn and talk or elbow partner or, the person across from you, depending on how your classroom's set up, because then that might give her permission and she knows those opportunities are going to come and she might not interrupt us more.
I've seen another teacher refer to that as you time, me time, and utilizing that language really intentionally.
One strategy that comes to mind too is to get kids up and moving when they're interacting. So things like an inside-outside circle where they are getting that sensory movement without having to stop all the learning. You continue with the learning, but that they're moving with it.
I also wonder too, when I hear about the frequent interruptions, is being able to chunk the work so that it's for the next 4 minutes, we're going to work on this, and then we'll do this, so that there's almost expectation of the amount of time that you only have to stay focused for 4 minutes before we come back. Amber, when you're taking a look at this list and thinking about Edna, what's one thing you want to try?
Definitely coming back to some of the learning styles piece, I think the movement breaks are really important. And I like that intentional time for students to talk, but maybe building that in a creative way. Where
Maybe with
it's
the movement breaks.
Okay. And that kind of speaks to what we talked about here with those planned movement breaks.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So Jen, you've got that, planned movement breaks, and then also revisiting learning style information for Edna. Amber, would it be fair if we said, by the end of next week
Yeah.
to start integrating some of those and see if they're making a difference? How about for you, Lana? Something you're thinking for Felice. Colette, could we work together? I know you've got a few different sample strategies around planned movement breaks. I think it would be great if we could create a kind of a little master list that would extend from what's on our continuum and maybe link that right onto our continuum, so that when it says planned movement breaks, here's 6 to 10 different ways you could do that.
Absolutely.
Could we work together on that?
Yeah.
Could I also suggest...
Just so you're aware.
Yeah, but time's up. Okay. All right, we want to shift our conversation just a little bit, and I'd like for us to look at a student who our data says is doing well in that green or blue area that we'd like to challenge or enrich. What we want to do is, as we've done before, just any students that should be coming up to our school support team agenda. We don't need to go in depth here. We may not have the right people at the table necessarily, or we may not have to have people in the conversation that are here. But just who should we be bringing up for our next Monday school support team? Anyone? All right. Thanks so much, everyone. We have in our agenda when our next team meeting will be, and let's just do a quick count. 5, 10, 15. Well done, everyone. I think we did great with our questions. Thanks, everyone.